Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy today to present some of my research to you. And the title of my presentation today will be Transitional and Big Data in Collaborative Urban Research. I do have a subtitle. Later on, I will explain why. The subtitle is The Strength of Weak Ties. And this is the outline of my research. First, I will tell you my research on sustainable cities and campuses based on traditional collaborations and traditional data. And then I will present to you my research on urban form and human movements based on big data in new format of collaborations. And for the second one, many of you might not be so familiar with, then I will report to you my ideas regarding why we need big data and what are big data, what is big data, and how we can best utilize big data. And I will also present my ideas regarding how we can use big data to do studies in urban Beijing and urban Brisbane. Then I will summarize my presentation. I will have some time for you to ask questions. In terms of sustainable cities and sustainable transportation, I have my own ideas. My idea is that sustainable behaviors and sustainable cities, they face competition of this type of one. For instance, if we're talking about sustainable transportation, then the long-standing reliance on driving vivid competition faced by alternative modes of transport. And I would rather consider sustainable urban form or sustainable transportation as some kind of services that can satisfy customers' demand. And there should not be something pure. For instance, there should not be something just biking, walking. It could be something for instance, including some driving, but the majority of them will be walking. That I consider that very good combination of services as well. And our customers for sensibility could be a special or stable group of people, or for instance, university students and environmentalists. And I think they can also be those who want to try sustainable and new activities, or someone in between. For instance, most of the time I drive, but some days or for some day or for some time and for somewhere I want to try something else. So long as we are better or more sustainable than the status quo, I think that's better. So that should be something should be encouraged. And with that, I think we need, in order to promote sustainability, we need to better identify, understand the core customers. Now the customers might a little bit dynamic. They're no longer a fixed group of people, as I mentioned just now. So we also need to, since they're customers, we planners or we geographers need to reasonably satisfy the demand of this core customer and keep them. And once we have a stable kind of customers, we need to utilize them better to affect and to attract others. In particular, I think use the influence of positive information contagion, just like the virus. We have negative virus among the population. But if we have positive information contagion, then we can have more sustainable behaviors. We can also have more sustainable understanding of cities and regions. And here's an example of my sustainability idea applied to the transportation field. In the past, we might separately study different modes of transportation, like walking, biking, but actually, we should not just separately study them. We should study a new combination of them that can best satisfy our need, the need of our customers. Then we can identify the core and sometimes dynamic kind of core customer group So here comes the sustainability formula of mine. I think the sustainable sustainable cities or sustainable transportation systems, they equal to how we can better identify how we can package the services and how we can identify the fees in the dynamic or even temporary customer base, and then and convert them and combine them with our core customers, and increase the base of our customers. Then we could achieve sustainability. And of course, we also need to convert more of non-core customers into our core customers. So that's my formula. With those, I conduct case studies, or they reinforce each other. I conduct case study to reinforce my theories, or the case study findings kind of reinforce my theories. I conduct case study using data from UCLA, Georgia Tech, two universities from car-dominant cities. I also conduct case study among ISU students who are pedestrian and cyclists for the college town. I also have conduct comparative studies to better understand the customers and products across spaces, across contexts. And also I'm trying my best to understand the utilities of information contagion and peer effects using concrete case studies. And based on those, I think I do find something regarding how we can better promote sustainability, in particular sustainable transportation. I think the poor and the push and pull forces in general are very important in terms of realizing sustainability, and also in terms of transportation. The demand management is very important. So we need to have a sense of moral obligations for people to have more sustainable behaviors. And the another formula I think is very important was that you need to identify our core customers with the new ideas I talked about just now. We need to foster new behaviors, even sometimes temporary behaviors among the non-core customers. And then we keep the new customers together with our original core customers, and then we increase the size of the core. And then we will be able to achieve more sustainability. And some people call it market segmentation ideas from business school. I think that's also okay for me. And sustainable cities, I think they also depend on their own quality of their services, but also the diversities of their services. So we should no longer consider the pure mode of travel, for instance. We can also consider the pure mode or pure urban form. We should consider some kind of diverse packages of services that can satisfy the need of our core customers. And of course, we also need to pay attention to the competitors of established behaviors. The competitors of the sustainable behaviors, and which should show influence. For instance, in driving, need to consider some kind of economic incentive or disincentive for them to try something new. And also, I think our new customers, their experience are really important. They can spread good words about our sustainable behaviors, about our sustainable urban form, sustainable transportation, you name it. So their experience is really important, and they can help us spread good words, good experience about our new sustainable behaviors. And I think also very important was that since people had kind of life cycle, for instance, I'm single, then I'm married, then I have kids. So sometimes I have to be kind of unsustainable, but that should be okay, according to our new understanding of sustainable transportation. And the key idea is that 100% sustainable behaviors are ideal, but any positive at the aggregate level, any positive percentage of change are okay too. Lastly, I think information contagion is really, really important in terms of promoting something new. And also, we tend to trust people like us, so we need to making sure that if we have some, for instance, if we have some students that buy, we need better utilize them to affect other students' behaviors. And that's the first part of my presentation. Any questions? If no question, I can talk something more about my research about urban form and humans movements, which I think is also research based on big data and new forms of collaboration. And my my research based on big data benefit from this organization, this kind of virtual research lab called the Beijing City Lab. This is the website. And then we have scholars from all over the world. We share data, we brainstorming ideas, so I really benefit from that. And I think based on that, I have learned something more about big data in terms of why, what, and how. Questions related to big data. Why we need big data? Any idea? To me, I think I kind of echo, something I saw over the internet. Big data is something like teenage sex. Everyone talks about it, nobody really know how to do it, and everyone thinks everyone else is doing it. So everyone claims that they are doing it. So that's my idea, a general idea about big data, why and what. And also, particularly, that's a kind of a joke. Let's talk a little bit seriously about big data. I think why we need big data. I think the first reason is that we want more relevant information. We want more relevant knowledge, wisdom, and efficacies from data. And why we need big data is because it has unlimited applications in different fields: transportation, environment, public health, land use, and you name it. So. But how we can best utilize big data? I think in order to get the most benefits from big data, I think we need to have relevant, related theoretical developments about big data. Otherwise, if we don't have strong theory, I don't really have strong relevant applications of big data. And of course, big data is not the only way that we use to discover new knowledge. So we have to understand the mechanisms of knowledge discovery in order for us to best utilize big data. And of course, big data pose challenges to existing data standard, data transferability, scalability, and measurement and analysis, even some methodology challenges. And I think in order to best utilize big data, we need to overcome institutional issues. For instance, privacy, and then which organizations ought what, and how they should, when and how they could share them with the public, and also maybe some vendors, third-party vendors, intermediaries in the big data market. And I think the big data, of course, I think the big data need big collaborations, particular collaborations based on the weak ties. If you don't know what I'm talking about weak ties, this is just a diagrammatic representation of the weak ties. Now many of us do have strong ties that can limit what we can do, what we can think about things. But sometimes we need some weak tie persons who can help us break through those boundaries of our comfort zones. So I think the big data is something like that, which can break through our comfortable zone using the small data or traditional data. And I think with big data, we can have new type of urban research. It can answer new urban questions. And here's just some people from NYU. They use the big data, the taxi data over a year to identify the drop-off in the picking up points of test customers. And here's another guy from Germany. I think he using hundreds of years of famous persons, birthplace and death place to identify the migration patterns over time, and then associated with the migration patterns, he and his colleagues was also able to identify the trend of civilizations over the space. And below was the URL of the YouTube link, and you can have more dynamic visualization of those patterns. I think that's the benefits brought about by big data. For me, I do apply big data to study Beijing and many other places. I also hope that if I were high, I was also interested in doing more research using big data to study Brisbane. And I have used big data to study the spatial patterns of human settlements and movements. Here just some maps. We utilize the smart swipe bus car to identify the geolocation and residence locations of millions of bus commuters in Beijing. And here's some other map. We utilize the big data as the source of data to identify employment centers that are related to bus usage. And we also utilize big data to identify those sub-centers, commuting pattern, human movement pattern. And here's we use big data to identify the busiest commuting flows between different sub-regions in the big city. And in addition to those, we do use big data for us to identify where there are problems in our cities and regions. And here we use big data to identify where there are the kind of extreme commute distance or commuting trips. And then we identify the hotspot. I think even with big data, when we identify problems, we cannot just rely on big data. We have to utilize traditional and open data as well. And this by traditional and open data, I mean this kind of field trip, survey, census data, and the Google image, and or even some some 3D map made by third-party vendor, but they open to the public. We can also utilize this for us to identify the hotspot problems. And we should not forget about those field trips. This is just some field trip images I took, and this additional photo image I took. A few I took via my field trips. And this is the hotspot that we identify. 4 spots of extreme commuting trips with extreme commuting trips, the prototype of land use in built environment. And I also utilize big data for us to help us to optimize commuting and traffic. And here just some map. This is just the map you saw just now. Just now you saw the existing pattern of commuting. But this map showing that if we have some assumptions about the commuters, or their workplaces, if we could optimize their commuting patterns, how their commuting trips will look like. And here we even utilize big data to identify, if we optimize, those commuting trips, where are the losers, who help us realize the optimal commuting pattern for the whole city. And lastly, I think we need to use big data to construct policy scenarios for us to better understand the impacts of different policies on human movements. Here, I just use the big data as the base for me to study what will happen to commuting patterns if Beijing offer bus rapid transit lines between several employment centers and residential centers. here's the pattern, okay, of the trees after we have bus rapid transit. But if I choose to work at UQ, I think there are a lot of opportunities for me to expand and deepen my research. For instance, we do have 6 research centers groups. I saw many potentials for me to deepen my research here. For instance, I think we can identify the address problems in the dysentery factions, combining user-generated data with other types of data like remote sensing and census data. And we can explore new types of planning, like evidence-based planning, which I saw from one of your publications. And I think with more colleagues, interdisciplinary from different centers, we can also work together with different stakeholders that evaluate local plans and policies, especially by combining big data, traditional data, and emerging data and technologies, and promote new format of collaborations. And based on the above, I think I saw a great potentials for me to enhance, help enhance the planning of geography curriculums at UQ. For instance, I saw on your curriculum that there's a kind of emphasis on use and extension of information technology. I think with what I have done, I think enhance those areas. And also, I think we can, with big data, we can better study human spatial behaviors in Brisbane or in Australia and even beyond. And here again, just the examples I show. I think UQ researchers have conducted, and I think I really like those things. I also saw potentials of collaborations in the future. And as a summary, I think big data has the potential to be a much more dynamic source of data for planning and policy studies, and then traditional data. And when enhanced by traditional data, big data can use to generate new knowledge and insights. And also, based on what I've done, I think geo-visualization can help publicize the above knowledge and information. And also, I think urban Brisbane in Beijing, they provide, and any other cities, modern cities or aggressive cities, they provide unlimited opportunities for those interested in big data and associated studies. And lastly, I think visual labs or visual communities like the Beijing City Lab would enable us to take full advantage of those opportunities afforded by urban Brisbane, urban Beijing, or elsewhere. So that's what I call the strength of weak ties. Again, I show you guys, I show you the diagrams of strong the weak ties, which will help us break through our current comfort zone and enter new territories of success and new territory of explorations. With that, open to questions.